Hello everyone and welcome to Inside Line Racing, specifically, my voice died, hopefully that doesn't get clipped. Welcome to Inside Line Racing for round number 15 here of the ILR6 season. I'll ignore my voice break there, I was needing to cough. But yeah, we're here for round number 15 here of the ILR6 season, coming up to the end. We had our second mid-season break and now we're going to go right to the finish. We've got 6 more races after this one. Championship obviously not decided, but it is in favour of this man right here, Nipro. I will get the standings up very shortly. I haven't got them up at the moment, but I do know he's winning the championship by quite a good margin. So if he just keeps his consistency up, there's not many races to go, he can win the championship. Obviously round number 15 here at the Singapore Grand Prix, the longest track on the calendar in terms of lap time? No, not lap time. In terms of how long a race takes, obviously in real life it is about 62 laps of this very long circuit, and they usually go up to the 2-hour mark, and for 50% races it's 31 laps, the most on this game, and it's quite a long track, so 31 laps is a hell of a challenge. It is basically an endurance race. So they've got to try and get through it. If it's wet, it's going to take longer. If it does rain, then the stream may have to be temporarily finished before the end, because there is ILR 4, ILR 1, ILR 5, and I race in ILR 4. So yeah, it may need to be ended temporarily. I don't think there's any rain, as there are a lot of people on the hard compound of tyre. But yeah, it is just as a precaution. There are a lot of yellow flags around. There is usually going to be a lot of yellow flags around because it is Singapore. It is a street circuit. There's a lot of walls. There's a lot of walls nearby. It is dangerous. I have got a track guide up just in case. Just in case we forget what the corner numbers or names are. But Scott currently running 3rd place. Nipro, championship leader, is in 3rd. No, 2nd, sorry. If you give me 2 minutos, I will have the standings up. Oh, Scott there, it's the wall. I don't know how he did that actually. Let me just check back on the stream. I wasn't really paying attention. I looked back and Scott is at the wall. He clips a wall on the inside of the straight. Not what you usually do, obviously wasn't concentrating. You've got to concentrate at all times around this track. Will rain? I have no clue whether it will rain. I'm guessing with a lot of people on the mediums, probably not. With only one person touching the softs, I doubt it will rain. But we'll see. It could be rain later on in the race. I've got no clue. I do slightly hope it does rain, but we'll see. I hope it rains because it'll be interesting, then I hope it doesn't because it'll take too long. So there's ifs and there's pros and cons about all of it. So yeah, we're just gone under the 10-minute mark now. I'm just getting up the standings as well, if the website would like to load for me. There we go. Season 6, ILR6, driver standings. Oh, there's Iceman's now at the wall. A fair few people are in the wall already in qualifying. So we've got Nipro, who's winning the championship by 91 points over Jaruru. Absolutely dominating the championship. And he's probably on to winning the championship at this rate. Probably, maybe Japan. He could win the championship at Japan at the way we're going, which is in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, Jaruru is in 2nd on 113, then Patuka on 110, B on 95, Joe on 70, Ushin, ESD Max and Bastos all on 60. You've got Stig on 57, Aledi 55, Scott 53, Speed Iceman 41, Big Zuri 38, Heavy T 35, JTX 27, Johnny R 14, Mike has got 12, Comeds 6, Newell 2, and Muffin 1. Yeah, none of the Williams guys are here, so there's 2 reserves in at the moment. NWB, if you remember rightly, won in Italy last week. I wasn't there, but I do know he did win. Am I racing tonight? I will be racing tonight. Batuka, usually good in qualifying. He's on a lap in the first sector, now actually the middle. Yeah, we'll see how he's doing. If we have a look, Batuka, yeah, 3rd in the championship. More yellow flags up with the Mercedes there. It's just getting out the way. Batuka did have a fairly good start to the season. I remember he was there, up there in qualifying every single week. He had back-to-back podiums in China and Baku. And then it kind of just went a bit downhill. So every wet-affected race has not gone his way. So parts of it's dry, he has a decent chance. All of his dry races have gone pretty well, apart from Canada, Australia and Britain. All the other ones have been very good for the Haas driver. Constructors, meanwhile, we have a couple of minutes left, 7 minutes. Alfa Romeo lead, to no surprise, on 284 points as Sippy goes to provisional pole with a 36-1. Yeah, Alfa lead on 284 points, then Haas on 161, Mercedes on 152, Ferrari on 150, Toro Rosso 136, Renault 132, Racing Point 130, McLaren 101, Red Bull 67 and Williams 8. Obviously I think Williams and Red Bull will stay where they are, but there was a massive battle in the Constructors from 2nd to 8th. The gap between them all is 60 points. 60 points with there being 7 rounds left, this one included, is absolutely insane how there's 60 points technically between 14 drivers. If you look at it constructors wise, drivers wise they're a little bit more spread out, but constructors for that runner up spot and etc, it could be anyone's game, as NWB goes quickest with a 35.9. First person to get into the 35s and cuts across turn 1. But yeah, a lot of people starting on the medium compound tyre. I can't remember what the strategy is, to be honest. So this will give me a bit of a handy help for later on. More yellow flags, I don't know what that could be. Giroux is on a lap. He is up by 1 second in the first 2 sectors. 1 second still is only going to put him down up into 12. Oh, there's rain! Oh, hello! There is rain, so yeah, this has gone horribly wrong for Giroux. He's really not timed this. Rain has come down. Obviously, you can't tell. So the rain just comes kind of when it wants to. When it's in the dark, but Giroux to the line as Fiesti Mats has spun across the line. Has only gone 12th. Fiesti Mats going for a little bit of a spin on the start-finish straight. Obviously, it must be getting slippy already. And to answer Mess Class's question, yes, it is meant to rain. But I guess in qualifying. So that's basically going to be it for this qualifying session. No one's going to improve in this 4.5 minutes when there's rain coming down. So that means NWB has got pole position. Championship leader Nipro is in 5th. Not a great position to be. You are in the mix. And as championship leader, not the greatest place to be. But he's still ahead of all of his rivals. For example, Giroux, he's down in 12th. He's his closest rival. Batuka, who's only 3 points off of Giroux, is down in 8th. So not far off Nipro. But I don't think any of his rivals, the closest person in the championship is Joe, but Joe's a mile behind. Joe is ahead of Nipro. But yeah, Nipro just needs to probably keep it calm. It's a long race ahead of him. It's a long race for everyone. We're going to start from the back. It's Sainz time. Well, Sainz is able to do it, 20th to 3rd. A bit late, obviously, because stewards took the time with the penalty for Hamilton, but yeah, you could. I would salute you from starting at the back and getting the podium, especially at Singapore, but drivers can make mistakes. It is very, very easy to make a mistake at this track. Like this corner right here, the second to last corner, turn 21. Coming out that little complex of corners where the tunnel is and all that. One snap of oversteer and you've got to try and correct it. You're going to start veering off into that wall. Same as understeer. If you start understeering, that wall there on the outside of that corner on the exit it's probably where it's going to get most people. Obviously in the final sector mainly you're not going to see many battles. You're not going to see many people go for it down the inside of the tunnel section. You might see a few people go for it over the Anderson Bridge into the hairpin. That will be quite interesting to see on lap 1. Quite interesting to see how that one goes. If these guys could retire, it would be pretty good, because then we could get the race done and over with sooner. From what I've been told, actually, I've just looked in the chat, there is no rain for the race. So, sorry to bore you all, but there is no rain. And that's it for qualifying. We've ended 2 minutes early, which is cracking. So, NWB is on pole, the only person to touch the 35s. In second is Sippy, who joins him on the front row. Then you've got Joe and Lord Alam, who, I believe Lord Alam is new, unless he was in last week. Not too sure. But these two, 3rd and 4th, second row on the softs. Got to watch out for them. 5th is Nipro, championship leader. Then 6th is Heavy T. 7th is Newell on a set of softs. 8th Patuka, 9th Scott, 10th B, that's your top 10. Outside the top 10 you get a free choice of tyre. Simics, Jaruru, Iceman, ESD Mats, JTX, Mike, Aledi and Oshin. And I believe Stiggy who has joined, and will be starting at the back, which to be honest might not be the worst place to be. It might not be the worst place to be, as you can just keep to yourself. You can back out. Obviously, you're last. There's no one will be pressuring you from behind. So, and there usually is carnage on lap 1. People will try and take it cautiously, but there will be some who won't. So I do expect a few front wings to be missing, or some parts of front wings to be missing at the end of lap 1, especially that final sector. I think there's going to be a few issues. The hairpin, there's going to be a few issues, but the drivers just need to make sure that they keep the front wings clean as we start the formation lap. If they keep their front wings clean, they are absolutely sorted. Because a damaged front wing around here is absolutely the thing you do not want. So the formation lap begins. Top 10 on the tyres. They qualified on mediums for the majority, but you've got Joe, Lord Alam and Newell on softs. Joe and Lord Alam are the two you want to look at specifically, as these two are on the softs. The two in mediums are going to get a better start. They're going to be quicker for the first couple of laps, and Joe is fighting for pretty good spots in the championship. He can easily get runner-up. Winning the championship, bit far-fetched, still possible. He would need an absolute miracle, as in like all of his rivals to not do that great, and also Nipro not finish the next couple of races, and he's back in it if he wins. But yeah, he needs to watch out for Lord Alam as well, as he's on a set of softs as well. Heavy T and Nipro need to watch out for Newell, as Newell is on a set of softs as well. Depends how the start is, but the track is probably going to be rubbered in, So will the softs. They're bound to do a lot better. The medium's going to be cold. So, yeah. Every team's going to have to watch his back. Outside the top 10, everyone's on hards. Apart from Speed Iceman, who's 13th on a set of mediums. Not a bad spot. And Stiggy, who did join and is trying to do as Carlos Sainz, is on a set of mediums as well. Almost the same as what Carlos Sainz did. Start on the quicker tyre to get yourself up a few positions on the grid. And currently has lost a pack. Actually, wait, no, that's... Well, these two are far behind. Ushin's far behind. NWB's about to line up, so he's going to be sitting on the grid for a extra long time, as he has already stopped on the grid, and these guys are only just coming round. So the top 5 or 6 are not in a good predicament at the moment, as we've got Ushin, who's just come around the final corner now. So yeah, the front lot are going to have a bit of a shaky start, but as we get ready, Ushin will be the last one to line up. So as we get ready, the yellow flags are waving and the lights are on. We've got 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And away we go for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. Does look like a pretty good start there from NWB. But no, he's not. Sippy down the inside at turn 1. Oh, and there's big carnage. Oh, no, 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 no. We've got massive carnage. Front wing's gone. Oh, Sippy spun round. There's a lot of front wings gone. Sippy spun in the middle of the track. Someone else spun in the middle of the track as well. I don't know who that was. But NWB leads. I can't remember who that was. There's this carnage going on at the back. Stiggy's making his way up a few positions. Stiggy has got a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flag, so not exactly a great start from a person who's trying to emulate Carlos Sainz on the weekend. Absolute carnage there at the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. There's a few drivers at the back especially who are without a front wing. But NWB leads. Lord Alam is in 2nd, Heavy T is in 3rd, Nipro 4th, Null 5th, Scott 6th, Jaruru up into 7th on a set of hards. That's an excellent start from him. Patuka in 8th, Simic's 9th, Mike 10th. That is the top 10. Outside the top 10, who has got damage here? I believe a few of these guys do. I definitely know Sippy does. Yep, Sippy's got a hefty amount of front wing damage. Someone else was in there. I do think it was Lord Alam, who is instantly starting to struggle on them softs, and NWB is getting away. People do need to watch out for the corner cutting as well, especially turns 20 and 21. Can cut the corner pretty easily, but as we start lap 2, NWB has got a 2.1 second lead, and he is on a set of mediums, so he could be on for an absolute blind of a race where no one is going to affect him. And Ushin with a penalty for speeding in the pit lane as Ushin actually retires. Joe is in the pits as well, and so is Sippy. We've got Patuka and Simics, who I believe have just traded positions, but Patuka runs a little bit deep. Now you're going to watch out for Simics. There's no DRS yet. There's another lap to go until DRS is enabled. Here comes Simics around the outside of the Sector 1 split. He's actually going to make it done. No, he's not. Patuka is able to hold in there and keeps a position for P8. But now actually Simics back down the inside of turn number, I can't remember, turn 9. There's comes turn 11 and 12, 10, 11 and 12, what used to be the old Singapore sling. Oh, there's a bit of a tap there. Patuka's off the track. Mike has tapped Simics and they're going side by side over the Anderson Bridge, going into the hairpin. And there's no silly dive bombs, but Patuka is struggling. I don't know if he's got any wing damage or not, but he's got an absolute train behind him, and he does have wing damage. And here comes Simics now around the outside. He's trying to get into turn 14, but now Patuka's going to have the inside line coming into turns 15, 16 and 17 and keeps a position. Jesus, a lot of action at the moment. There's Simics down the side of the tunnel now. Patuka narrowly missing the wall as well. Also entertaining action as NWB with a 4-second lead over the top lot, and he's got, oh, Lord of Lamb's gone off the track. Oh, and he's collided with Heavy T in Heavy T's round. It is a slight half spin from Heavy T. As they make contact into turn 3. And now Nipro is up into P3 as we start lap 3. Now I guess it's the championship leader's turn to try and get past this Red Bull that is really impeding these two. We've got Scott and Jaruru having a nice battle there, and I believe Scott's got the position done on Jaruru. Stiggy and Mike, who had a bit of a squabble there, you got a lady in the background, but other than that, nothing's happened there. Lord of Lamb is losing so much time right now. Oh, and he's gone deep into the hairpin. This is going to allow Nipro in. And Nipro's got the better wings. But Lord of Lamb's going to probably break later of the two, and he does. And keeps the position. So Lord of Lamb doing very well to protect himself as we've got someone off. Mike is off into the wall. But nothing's happening with the leaders so far as Mike retires. I don't know what's happened there, but Mike has retired. That is the second retirement on lap number 3. Oh no! Null's on and off at the tunnel, turn 18. I don't think he's got any wing damage, but he's had enough. Lord of Lamb defending into the final corner. Nipro really is struggling to get past this Red Bull. This Red Bull is defending with all his might, and we've got a safety car at the beginning of lap 4, and MWB's lead that he had got has all gone. So, and Lord of Lamb, oh, drive through for speeding under the safety car. So he's done excellently well to defend, but now he's got a drive-through penalty for his troubles. But NWB pulled out about a 7-second lead in 4 laps. But now a safety car has come out, and that has just drowned all of that out. Lord of Lamb is bound to pit, and as a drive-through penalty, he has to serve. But he can pit for some hards, which may go to the end. With a few laps under the safety car, which won't technically count, he might be able to make some hards go to the end. Track position is key, as we all know, around this track. So I don't think NWB will pick, 'cause he hasn't got the gap. The gap is about 9 seconds to the 3 behind, which is not enough even under safety car conditions. He would lose out to 2nd, 3rd and 4th. I'm not sure about Scott. But I don't think he'll box anyway, because there's no need. He is boxing. And if it's for a set of hards, he may be going to the end. I guarantee Lord of Lamb is going to pit as well. And Heavy T is overtaken Nipro under the safety car. I'd like to see how that happened, but I'm a bit confused. Oh, NWB didn't go in. He must have changed his mind at the last second. There's someone actually behind the safety car. Oh, it's Joe, he's been allowed through. No, with a penalty for speeding, but as everyone comes out, Lord of Lamb has to serve a drive-through as well, so he's down in 10th at the moment. But I think that'll be worse than 10th as he will catch... Oh, Joe, disqualified. For ignoring yellow flags, so Joe has been disqualified. So that's the 3rd person out of this Singapore Grand Prix. I believe it was. Right, can someone please confirm? It did say disqualified, right? It did say disqualified. Yeah, it did. Eh? Oh, what? Well, obviously he's not been disqualified then. How strange. Yeah, the pack has caught the safety car. Civic's found himself into fourth on a set of hards. Not bad. Obviously the mediums will still have a lot of life in them. The safety car doesn't help in terms of me getting to ILR4. We are going to be running against the clock. I will say that. Sorry if I'm not really speaking, but there isn't much to commentate about as they're just behind the safety car. There's not really much you can do. Everyone warming up the tyres, doing as they do. I don't know how long the safety car's going to last. I do slightly hope it does come in at the end of this lap, as practically everyone's caught up now. Patuka back in the pits again. Joe is miles behind. I believe Patuka just had a whack with the wall. For his troubles, but I don't think he got any wing damage from it. Oh, Nipro! Oh, he's got a 5-second time penalty for hitting MET. That could be a deciding factor in this race. A 5-second time penalty for the championship leader. Not what you want, but the two rivals are currently down in 15th and 16th. And now no with a penalty for colliding with B. A lot of penalties being handed out here. No, ooh, there's a sticky out wall there. Patuka almost hit it. Jesus, that would have been interesting. Stiggy. What? Stiggy's off. He's in the wall. Stiggy has gone off and hit the wall under the safety car. Roman Grosjean, is that you? And the safety car's not coming in, I don't think. The safety, the corner, the pit lane is right in the next corner. If it is, it's an absolute late call, and it is. MWB has to pull everyone together. As we get ready, it's literally a car park down here. Iceman's got a penalty, and we're going. And Nipro's in. Oh no! Oh, my Civics has spun! No, it isn't! It's NWB has spun! Oh no! And Civics is in the pit, so they're going to double stack. This has been an absolute mad start. There's someone else off as well! Giroux's off! Oh my god, he's collided with Lordelam, I think. Lordelam's a lap car, I think. No. What has happened here? Giroux's out the race. B's in the pits. Oh my god. Now the Williams is a double stacking. And they haven't even got the tyres ready for him, and he's going to come out in last. First to last. What an absolute mad start to this race. And now Nipro. What's happened to Nipro? Has Nipro got wing damage as well? Yes, he has. He has barely got a front wing. I do not know what's happened to Nipro, but Nipro has not got a front wing. Championship leader now down in 9th and is strolling around at a measly pace. So what an absolute race we are on to have here. Giroux out of the race. Ushin out of the race. Two people who are up there. Patuka, he's got no wing as well. All the championship leaders have got no wings, and one of them has retired. I think Lord Alarm has got a bit of wing damage as well. My. Oh, Speed Iceman! Jesus, he's drifting it there around turn 21. Oh my god, he's really drifting it as we start lap 8 now. Somehow we only have 3 DNFs, but wowee. What a race we are on for. As Nipro, Patuka, Lord Alarm all come in. Wow. Let's watch from behind, Speed Iceman. Obviously these corners aren't as bad on traction. There's a bit of a glitch there with the timing screen. But now Leddy's up into P3 legitly. And Newell's had a pit stop. And has ended up 5th. Scott as well, it's absolutely crazy. Kart race like that, input delay on turning and braking, unlucky. Now this is a sector where we want to keep an eye out here for Speed Iceman. As this was a sector where he was sliding all over the place. Ooh, well, Eddie getting a bit close to that wall there. That was especially through this corner. He got a bit feisty on the power. A lot better this time. So as we start lap 9, DRS has been re-enabled. For the second time we now have DRS. And Speed Iceman is just in that range. As Heavy T got a bit of wing damage there. He's completely understeered off the track. No, he is all fine, and Sippy's in, and that will be for a front wing change. So Sippy's had an off somewhere. And yep, that's a new front wing for the Toro Rosso, so that is another wing change. Plenty of wings so far, probably above a dozen at the moment. Wow, championship lead, actually battling Patuka, the other championship challenger. Wow, here we go. A battle for P14, but it is quite significant. Ish. As Sippy comes out the pits ahead of them, or just ahead of Stiggy. There's a battle here between these two for P14. It's the first and third in the championship, but they're battling for no points. Who would have thought of that? These two should be battling at the top, not battling for no points. But here comes Nipro now on a slightly fresher tyres than Patuka. It looks like it's going to be an absolute easy move, and it is smooth sailing for Nipro. Up into P14. Still nowhere near the points, but step in the right direction. You have got this little train from 1st to 4th. Oh, Iceman's lost DRS on EVT. That's going to be interesting, because now Leddy's going to be liking that. But Speed Iceman was still actually gaining on the straight, which is quite remarkable. And actually, as DRS has done a lot better in the first sector than Heavy T, as Heavy T gets awfully close to that wall. A Leddy though, very good run. Out of, I believe that's turn 4. I think he's too far behind to lunge it into turn 7. He is just a little bit too far back, as the SD Mats didn't have the greatest of runs. And this is the only real battle now for the moment. So we've just got to keep rolling on through. Oh, big wobble there from a Leddy. Wow. Almost ended in calamity there. So as we come up to the end of lap 10, Heavy T and Iceman are going to start to struggle-ish. As this is where the hards will probably come into play. They are now coming to 10 lap old tyres. I don't know how long they're meant to last, but obviously we'll have to see. It's a bit wide there from Aledi. But yeah, Aledi, oh, he's overshot it into turn 1 though, and Scott and Null. Scott has got past Null, so Scott is up into P5. Ooh, bit of a wobbly traction there for Aledi and Iceman. Iceman a lot closer to Heavy T, but isn't going to go for it. Obviously, he's a bit far back. This is the only battle. The ST Max is starting to fall off. Null is losing time to Scott. So we've got Nipro making another position. Trying to get a bit of a comeback going. He's dropped. Oh, he's got up actually to P13 as he overtakes Stiggy. Stiggy's on a set of hards. And actually, I don't think Nipro can go to the end. No, Nipro has to pit again. Nipro's on an aggressive 2-stop. So yeah, as Lord Alarm picks up a penalty, and the sticky out wall has gone from there. So I think since Stiggy hit it, he has put the wall back in its place. Oh, Iceman! Iceman's wobbling. In this final sector, Iceman, Jesus, he's really attacking them curbs, and his rear tyres are not having any of it. Well, but Aledi decides to take a wider line, a very wide line, through the final corner. He's outbroke himself almost again as we're going to turns 2 and 3. Back end seems wobbly from them all at the moment, but I don't think they would have imagined that they're all fighting for P1. And yet again, Speed Iceman not pushing. Oh, was Aledi late on the brakes, having to even lock up. He almost hit the back of Speed Iceman there. But these guys seemingly are just following each other. Nothing is being done position-wise. But this can be the bad part about Singapore. It's a very, very long track, and people do gap apart. So as we start lap 12, nothing's going to happen again. I don't think Speed Iceman's close-ish, but he's not pushing on the ERS down the straight. So yeah, a bit confused by that. Why is Nipro so low? He got involved in a collision on the safety car restart. I wasn't too sure where. I'm not sure where he collided, but I saw him going close to the pit lane, saw Jaruru bin it, so I went off of Nipro, as Nipro actually has just got past Sippy for P11. But yeah, I came back and he had no front wing, as Sippy does retire, the 4th retirement. Safety car may get caught, as Heavy T pit back end wobbly. Oh, and Joe is out as well, so we've got a double retirement there, so we're now 5 retirements down. But if you look at the position changes, this grid is completely flipped. Look at that. That is absolutely crazy. Aledi started 17th. Iceman started 13th. EVT started 6th. ESD Max started 14th. Absolutely crazy. All the front runners have binned it or spun. NWB spinning on the start finish straight on the safety car restart. Right at the start there was calamity. Oh hello, that was the SD Max going a bit wide there. Show who pitted. I will do in a minute as we've got a Leddy who's closing right in. Oh, on Speed Iceman, they're going side by side now. And Speed Iceman has not got any DRS, so has lost out there. To a Leddy. Pit stops. There you go. Quite a lot of stops considering we're on lap 14. Patuca has pitted 3 times, so he's not exactly got lucky around the strike. Yeah, this is the only battle at the moment, as actually we've got the 2 Williamses who have just switched around. So Simics has let NWB go, but both of them don't actually drive in the Williams, which is quite funny. No, they're both reserves, I think. Yeah, they're both reserves, so it doesn't count towards constructors' points. I don't really know why they're helping each other, to be honest. They've just both been put in the same car. Williams have got a few points. If you're about Williams, they've got a measly I think 6 or 4, well 8 actually. They've got 8 points, but none of the drivers are here. So these two are technically teammates, but won't count towards the constructors. They'll count towards the drivers. As Heavy T has lost the position, but he is pitting. Speed Iceman, yeah, he still points to the drivers, and Speed Iceman is pitting. So Leddy now takes the lead temporarily. Where will Heavy T come out? Oh, Speed Iceman has to serve a penalty. So that's an interesting one. He's going to lose out there. Scott passes the SD Mats. Mats has had an issue somewhere then. And where is Heavy T? He's come out in P8. Nipro is there in P9. But he's on a not a new set of mediums, we'll say a slightly worn set of mediums. He's got Stiggy now fighting with Iceman for the 1 remaining point. Iceman is going to be on cold hard, so he has to get them warmed up quickly, but here comes Stiggy with DRS. He's going to be right behind him and now alongside as they come down for the straight, and it is a simple move for Stiggy, and he's up into P10. But I guarantee it won't be for very long, because once Iceman gets his tyres warmed up, he'll be right all over the back of him again. And that was the only battle, unfortunately. So we've had action for the first half of the race. Now we are just settling down, which is unfortunately. But Stiggy needs to pit. No, Stiggy's pit. Stiggy can go to the end, but would have to stretch hards very, very long. 23 lap hold at the end if Stiggy were not to pit. So it's a risk, but Stiggy has pit, and Stiggy did start on a set of mediums, so it's fine to do that. Yeah, they will probably be dead, but track position at this track is so key. It's not that easy to overtake unless you have got unless you've got a significant. There we go. It took me a while. Significant advantage on the car ahead of you, and that wall, I did just notice, is still sticking out. And there is Simics, as he's actually under pressure slightly from a Ferrari, but as you can see here, there's a bit of a wall there that's sticking out, so it's stopping the drivers from going further wide through that corner, which will slightly mess them up, as people like to run wide, try to take as much of the track as possible through that turn 10, 11, 12, 13 section. And they can't now because the wall's sticking out. But Simics is under pressure from B, who has got Heavy T behind him. And the championship leader Nipro. So that should be interesting as Matt's pits. No, Simics goes through the floor. We'll ignore that, but yeah, Simics holding his own on mediums, so we'll have to pit again. But B with an absolute excellent run out of that final corner, and he's going to have a run on Simics. Into turn 1, and B has got the move. Fair and simple from B. But Simics is most likely going to come back at him into turn, or set to 1 split, sorry. So here comes Simics right back at the Ferrari. It's got to be a pretty late lunge, and it was. He pulled to the inside to have a look, and Nipro gets past Heavy T. Bear in mind, Nipro does have to pit again, so yeah. This is damage limitation for Nipro, but Patuka is down in last. Joe is out. I'll have a look, but I don't know who's the closest rival. Get Yellow Flags in sector 2. I think it was NWB. No, Iceman. He's off. And he's lost his front wing, so he was in the point zone, but won't be anymore. B is now the closest. There's a rival, but B may have to pit again. He's bound to lose a few positions here. So for Nipro, it's not going to be a great race, but considering all of his rivals have done pretty awful as well, he has kind of been let off with it, and it's probably going to extend his lead in the championship by a couple of points. As we're starting lap 18 for these drivers. And we have got Nipro, who's got an eye on Simics. And I think Nipro may get this move done. Nipro is the quickest guy on the grid, I would say. He does look like it. He's been all over the back of anyone who he's been near. But now it's a test of that straight line speed. And here comes Nipro. He's going to go to the inside. Simics has left the door wide open. And yeah, he's taken it. Nipro has taken that position pretty comfortably. Oh, and Simics has hit the wall. And has got wing damage, so every team needs to get past him as soon as possible. As now Simics is going to be losing a mass amount of time. No has lost a position to JTX going into turn 14. And picks up 3-second time penalties for more trouble. Simics, he's not going to try it around the outside. No, he's not going to try it around the outside. Turn 15. And Leddy pits. So Scott takes the lead. Scott has actually pit. Now, Scott is intending on taking these tyres to the end. He has got a massive lead. I just noticed that. I don't know if he can, but he's got a massive lead. Simics gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Not great for him. Get that, Scott has got a 22.5-second lead. Nipro picks up a 3-second time penalty for more of his troubles. Nipro has got a pit. So it is all in Scott's hands as here comes Nipro easily around the outside of turn 6 and is up into P2. Thank you. It's not something you hear every day, but I'll take the compliment. Thank you. Oh, Nipro getting a bit close to the wall there, coming out of turn 9. As we've got another Ferrari in the wars now. A Ledi. Oh my Jesus. Almost sent it down the side of turn 10. Not exactly the place I would see. But Ledi is on fresh mediums. Very fresh. So he's obviously going to occupy P2 pretty soon. Heavy T is going to the end, so he just needs to pass Heavy T. Nipro's got a pit. Scott is really the only person who can... It might be his race to lose, and he might be going to the end, but I don't know as such yet. Maybe he's having to defend into the final corner. Oh, and he's got off the track, and that allows the Ledi through. Is that wing damage there? It is wing damage, so MVT's picked up some wing damage somewhere. He's on fresh hards as well, and oh, it's just not gone well for the Mercedes driver. He's got wing damage for all of his troubles. Oh, we're not going to go on board with Nipro anytime soon. No. Nope, we're not. Yep, definitely not. Let's go over with ESD Mats as he is trying it around the outside of Stiggy into turn 7. And has got the move done. Fair play. Oh, the outside sector 2. Oh no! Nipro and B are off. Championship leader in the wall. Oh, that is a big turning point. An absolute massive turning point. Championship leader in the wall. B in the wall. I think they've collided into each other. I am not sure, but Nipro, championship leader, out of this race. B has got wing damage. The closest rival who is still left in this race to Nipro has hit him. So, Jesus. What else can go on in this Grand Prix? I am not sure. Jesus. Oh, and he's overshot the pit lane. And from all that, I've actually ended up getting a stitch. Whew. There we go. Right, so, B into the pits. And, yeah, fresh set of mediums to go to the end. It's going to knock him out the points. And WB's not in his car, and he's even got up into P8. But Scott now with a 25-second lead. It's ooh. Oh, yeah, final set to 1. I think it's B. Yeah, B's got more wing damage. So, yeah, that's it for B. Patuka's now in the points, so this has not gone well for Nipro now. Six retirements in this race now. And now we've got JTX versus Stiggy. Stiggy, bear in mind, did start at the back of the grid. He did say he was going to try and replicate Carlos Sainz at the weekend, but would need a pretty big miracle for that to happen. So you've got your SD Mats now on Heavy T. Heavy T with the wing damage, bear that in mind. So for SD Mats, should be easy. It's not going to be easy enough. He's going to try it down the inside into turn 1. Heavy T does relinquish the position as Heavy T has got a bit of wing damage. And now here comes JTX on Stiggy. I think he's a bit far back. You'd have to literally launch it, and no, he does back out. So Stiggy keeps a hold of P5 for now. And the SD Mats goes off into the distance from Heavy T, and I think Stiggy and JTX will catch up to this limping Mercedes, or JTX will be catching up to his teammate. And I think Heavy T will try and hold up Stiggy to try and let JTX through. Stiggy is on very old hards. Well, not very old, but pretty old hards. JTX on fresh mediums and needs to get past soon. Otherwise, he might not be able to get past at all. Stiggy is struggling actually to get within the DRS range of the Mercedes. Oh, as the Williams is switched, but NWB is not even there. So that means that when Patuka catches, that's 2 points for Patuka, 2 points closer. But I don't see Patuka gaining many more positions. So we've got a Leddy who is trying to get closer to Scott, who's on 18 lap hold hards, and it could be his race to lose. Scott would have to lose more than 2 seconds a lap to lose this race, which sounds like it's pretty hard to lose 2 seconds. But around Singapore, with the tyre life difference, pretty possible. Leddy's on quicker tyres and 14 lap fresher tyres, so anything can happen. And now Stiggy in a Mercedes sandwich as we are coming through turns 12 and 13? No, 8 and 9. So we'll see what Heavy T does. Heavy T holding on for now. Bear in mind Heavy T has got wing damage. Heavy T makes a mistake. Stiggy's going to be in here. Into turn 1. Here comes Stiggy, and Heavy T didn't really fight it. Now, unless Heavy T is planning to get past the Haas again, he might let his teammate through. And he has run slightly deep into the corner. Now, is Heavy T going to let his teammate through? Yes, he is. He's going to let his teammate have a go. Which is a wise decision, as Patuka gets up into P9. So, more points in the championship for him. Bear in mind, there are a lot of penalties that I've seen flying around, so there's another one actually for Patuka. There's a lot of penalties flying around. Oh, the outside sector 2! Newell is off. I believe he's done a quite perfect spin, yes. He's got no wing damage. That's fairly... Oh, Simics has done the same thing. Jesus. Yeah, Null's just done a almost perfect spin. Not actually hit the wall, which is fairly impressive. Pretty impressive. He's not hit the wall there. So he's able to carry on. Simics is now under pressure from Patuka. Patuka getting a few more points. More points the better for him. So we've got JTX and Stiggy now. He's all over the back of Stiggy, but he can't get the move done. Brilliant defending from Stiggy, to be honest. He's on a much older tyres, slower tyres, and he's able to hold on. Speed Iceman does pit. Yeah, these two are just battling forever. Scott, I don't really look at the penalties between the top two, because I think it could come down to penalties, but Scott obviously is losing time as he's starting the 6th to last lap. Obviously he's losing time, but I still think it is his race to lose. Considering the Leddy's 14 seconds behind and there's 6 laps to go, it's more than 2 seconds a lap out of a Leddy, which, as he's now not really on fresh mediums, trying to pull 2 seconds on a car in front is not easy. Bear in mind, Scott, however, is on pretty old tyres, and Leddy's actually gained half a second in this first sector. Actually 6 tenths in the first sector, so if he keeps doing that, it's not too bad. 7 tenths sector. 7.5. 8 tenths in the first sector there for a Leddy. That is kind of what you want to be doing. It's JTX. Will he get it done this time? He's close. He is close. He is close. He's going to go to the inside. No! He does need to go for the move sooner rather than later. He can't just hold back every time. No, he's not going to go for it into turns 10, 11 or 12. Now what I've noticed is that Leddy is starting to struggle to catch. Yeah, Leddy is struggling now to catch Scott, so Scott looks like he's pretty safe for this race win now. As we also have a battle for P8, as Patuka has caught up to Simics, and Scott has started his 5th to last lap, so 5 laps to go for the Red Bull now. The Speed Iceman has actually left the session, so we are technically down to 12 drivers. So yeah, 12 drivers. I did predict there will be quite a few retirements, and there has been. Technically there has been 7 in this race. As Patuka picks up another penalty. GTX has actually made a mistake. Has he got any wing damage from it? Nope, just made a pretty large mistake. But here comes Patuka with a bit of DRS, and he's going to get the move done swiftly. And he's up into P8. So, now we're back on board with JTX. We're still stuck behind Stiggy. You can see there the lovely red star of the many grey stars there on the Mercedes, one for Niki Lauda. which I believe they'll keep on the cars for a pretty long time. So yeah, this race has got pretty dull. This has got a few laps to go. This race is completely in Scott's hands now. Oh, Stiggy! Oh no! Stiggy's off and in the wall. I don't know how he's done that. He must have just lost it coming into turn 2, turn 3. So yeah, wow. So that means that Patuka is going to gain another position. Patuka up into P7, more points for Patuka, which does drag him a little bit into the championship fight. Not much, but Stiggy, guess he got a bit squirmy out of turn 1 on the curbing on the exit. That's the only way I can really predict him binning it. Cheering for Down and Simics. Okay, quite a few Civics fans. He's currently down in 12th, and unfortunately isn't looking like he's going to get any points, which is a shame. But it's Singapore, can be nice, sometimes isn't. But Scott, he's somehow out of nowhere starting P9. He's going to end up winning this race. I don't want to commentators curse him. I really don't. I really don't. But wow, if he does win this race, where has he pulled this from? No, Sticky, yes, it's a Sticky losing positions. Scott did have a second in round 1, yeah. I'll try and check when his last win came. Oh, you're in sector 3. Who's that? Who's in sector 3? Is it Civics? No. Is it SD Max? No. I don't know. I don't know who that was. Yeah, we'll go over with Scott, because I am desperately trying to find a way to see what tier he was in last season. If he was in one, because I can't seemingly find him. If someone could direct me to where he was last season, that can be pretty kind. If he was in it last season, I'm not sure. You're only pro unlucky, mate. I know it didn't go as planned for you. Scott, so he was in ILR 4 last season, taking the drop to ILR6. Didn't get anything. Finished P17 in the championship with 8 points. Wasn't the greatest, but now look at this. He's about to win a race, depending on penalties. So he didn't win last season. He's had a pretty big drought then. At least a season drought. As he starts the last lap for the final time. Scott is on his way. If you can hear my mouse clicking, that's just me trying to search for Scott. As in records wise. Was he not in season 4? Unless he was in ILR3. There's B is past Stiggy now. ILR3 is not even possible to be seen. No, it was. I just wasn't looking at it correctly. Give that a minute to load. But yeah, Scott is currently on his way to win. As it stands, I do doubt he will lose it on penalties, but we'll see as he comes on the hairpin for the final time. As he starts the final sector now. And you can see the spotlight shining down on him. 26 laps on them hards. Obviously it does depend on penalties, I'm not sure yet. But as he comes round the final corner, the fireworks are going to be ready. And Scott to the line, he crosses the line in first. I'm not going to celebrate it yet. We'll see. And yes, Scott wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Aledi is in second. The yellow flag's in sector 2. Sticky has gone off at turn 9. FPS has gone all over the place. SD Mats, P3 potentially. JTXO could nab it. GTX, no. EVT might hold on to 5th place. I'm not sure yet. FPS is going all over the place. No! He got a 5-second penalty for it, so he did lose the position. And that actually might promote Patuka up. Patuka P6! So that's more points for him in the championship. He probably got 8 more than he was predicting after the first couple of laps. Oh, never mind. B has go to 6th, so he's got 6 points more than he thought. No 8th. NWB's going to get 9th. I don't know if that's going to count. Oh, Lord Alarm and Stiggy. Lord Alarm down the inside. Where is Stiggy going? I'm not sure, but Lord Alarm gets the move done. And to be fair, I think Lord Alarm or Civics might get the point. No. Look at the race finished. Perfectly on time. So Scott lifting the trophy, something I don't think he thought he would win. And there we are, the top 3 celebrating, an unusual top 3 to say the least. Singapore can bring out the best in Formula 1. So, when it loads up. Oh, lovely XP for watching the race. So, Scott is your winner. Aledi is in second, ESD Matt's third. That is a hell of a top 3. Look where they started. GTX 4th as well. Absolutely crazy. Heavy T 5th, B 6th, Patuka 7th. Some points for him in the championship over Nipro. 8th is Null, 9th MWB, and 10th is Stiggy. That is your people who got points. Lord Alarm and Simics finished outside the top 10. Unfortunately, no points. DNFs, Iceman, Nipro, Joe, Sippy, Jururu, Mike, and Ushim. And that has been it from me. And that has been it from a very long and a very good Singapore Grand Prix. ILR 1, ILR 4, ILR 5 are on next. And for ILR, we'll see you in 10 minutes.